You have some teachings to share as well.
Yeah, I'll be offering some teachings from the Velveteen Rabbi Haggadah, which is the Haggadah that we'll be using tonight at our Seder. You can find this online. Just Google Velveteen Rabbi, also known as Rabbi Rachel Barenblatt. What I'd like to start by saying is that the mitzvah to tell the story of the Exodus from Egypt is a mitzvah that is only to be done once per year on Pesach, the 15th of the month of Nisan that we're in right now. And this Sipur Yetziat Mitzrayim, the telling the story of the Exodus from Egypt, is not just to remember the story, which is something that we do every single day of the year, but actually to explicate, deepen, grapple with, ask many questions about, rejoice in a way that can only be done once a year with profound joy and depth. And so tonight at our Seders, when we tell the story, I hope that we'll take the time to deepen into the story so that the rest of the year we can just simply remind ourselves each day that we have been brought out of our Mitzrayim, out of our Egypts. So the Sephardic custom at the beginning of the Seder is to actually turn to one another and to ask each other, who are you? I am Yisrael. Where are you coming from? I am coming from Mitzrayim. Where are you going to? I am going to Yerushalayim. Who are you? I am Yisrael. I'm someone who wrestles with the holy, who struggles with the source of all being, with my understanding of ultimate reality. Who am I? I am a child of the house of Israel. My community and I and anyone else who hears freedom's call are walking into this wilderness together. Where are you coming from? I'm coming from Mitzrayim. I'm coming from slavery. I'm coming from oppression. I'm coming from addiction. I'm coming from negativity. I'm coming from oppressing others. I'm coming from being too fearful to risk something new. I'm coming from suffering. I'm coming from isolation. I'm coming from separation. I'm coming from overwork. I'm coming from being stuck. Where are you going? I'm going to Yerushalayim. I'm going to an Ir Shalem, a city of wholeness, a city of peace, of shalom. I'm coming to a place where I am home. I'm coming from a place where I can find a state of mind, of tranquility. I'm coming from a place that will continue to be a journey towards discovery, towards self-expression, towards renewal. I'm Yisrael. I'm coming from Mitzrayim, and I'm going to Yerushalayim. When we break our middle matzah, we acknowledge that though we are free in this moment, in this great redemptive moment of Pesach, there are many who are not yet free. And we stand and we lift our middle matzah and we break that middle matzah and hold up half of it and we say, Halach ma'anya. This is the bread of affliction, which our ancestors ate in the land of Egypt. And this bread, this matzah, this broken matzah, represents the broken chains of slavery, but also the brokenness that still persists. The fact that in this time, in 2011, there are 27 million people who are still enslaved, who still call themselves slaves, or maybe even don't realize that they are enslaved. These are children. These are the vulnerable people in our society, largely, who are enslaved as human trafficking persists. Sex slaves, many of them, women as well, men as well. 27 million of them we acknowledge as we acknowledge that next year may it be that we find ourselves in a true state of freedom where everyone is free. The story of the Exodus from Egypt is only one part of Pesach. The other part of Pesach is the part where we acknowledge that it is now spring, that our agricultural story of freedom, freedom from winter, freedom towards spring, freedom towards new life, beckons to us the call of the earth, This year it is Earth Day on April 22nd, part of Pesach. And so we read also not only the story of the Exodus from Egypt, but the story of Song of Songs, which is one full of nature imagery and full of music and song and love. So we must hear and respond to the cry of the earth this Pesach. Chametz is the fullness that we let go of to find the simplicity, the simply being of matzah. And so we restrain, and as we must all consider how much we consume, how much we contribute to global warming here in the States. We are going to close with a song in our last few seconds, and the song will be based on the music from BJ B'nai Jeshurun in Manhattan.
In this song we're going to be singing, it's a traditional Hasidic tune for Pesach, and we are going to be using it for the Lecha Dodi section of our service on April 22nd. So you can practice along with us.